well, there are two big memories I have from season 11. Number one was watching it as a fan, and like the first episode was so chaotic, and how Silky Nutmeg Ganache took Miley Cyrus by her ankle and was swinging her around the room. I was like, this is crazy to watch. It felt like
Okay,
much.
that's also especially wild because like y'all experienced it too. You know, your first day in the workroom, you're like, "Oh my God, this is real.
Yeah.
What is going on? Is any of this real?" And suddenly, like a you met 10 minutes ago is like, "Get these cookies!" and like throwing dragged out Miley across the like slamming her into RuPaul's brick
You know what
walls.
I mean?
Wasn't Miley on her back at one point?
Yeah, she flipped her up. It was a whole wrestling routine. I thought they choreographed it.
Because it was crazy because the world really turned on Silky because before the first episode, the world was like,
Oh,
protect
she is the
Silky
one. I
at
love
all
her.
costs. She's amazing. She's that bitch. And then episode one came out and they were like, I think it was when she said, Mike, check, fuck you, bitch. That was when America was like, we don't like you.
Okay, but see, that is when I was like, I don't like you. Oh my God. People, I know I was so fucking petty on that season, always just like picking at the girls about shit. But like from day one, when Silky came in with like the most basic bitch shit in a room full of like basic bitches, and RuPaul was like, I was like, kill me now, bitch. And this is going to be the longest season. So when it was about to air and America was like, yeah, Silky, I was like, fuck, this is going to be terrible. And then from day one, they saw what I felt and I was like, okay.
Yeah,
so I have to thank the girls from season 11 for also being shady enough to hate it and be like, what the fuck was that bitch doing? Even though nobody else would talk about it, clearly,
Well,
in person.
and for some reason, I don't even know if you remember this, but I literally, I don't think I've really truly known any contestants from Drag Race since 10. I've known a few here and there. Tina Burner. I don't think I really knew anyone from Honey Davenport from your season. But I think she's the only one I didn't know anything about. I mean, we had met in Denver that one time when I did Denver Pride with In Vogue.
Wait,
I'm
what?
very thankful that you even slightly remember that because we hated your ass for that. I was like, okay, I know Pride is terrible, but Bobbiana is a cunt.
What? Okay, wait.
Why
Yvie,
did you guys hate me?
Yvie, spill.
Because you were
what?
exactly who you were, and Pride is exactly what Pride is. It was chaotic. It was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
There were 800 drag queens stuffed in a closet when we are literally in a giant warehouse, and you were not having any of it. Like,
Oh, no.
girls would come up
Never.
to you, we were like, oh my God. Not me, I didn't talk to bitches, but girls would come up to you and be like, yes, kiki, and you'd be like, yes, kiki. Like, back to your little corner of the closet. We were like,
Listen, I am
this
consistent. I am nothing if not consistent. I tell people, no one has a story being like Bob was mean to me. No one has a story that I was a cunt. No one has a story that I was rude to them. But people have stories that people are like, I said, hey, Bob, and Bob was like, hi.
yep, exactly. Cold. Ice cold, bitch. Ice
I'd be like,
cold.
happy Pride. I'd be like, happy
We
Pride.
trashed your shit. It's funny, my current roommate who just moved in with me was also the other person working backstage. And I just remember him being from, like, I hate Bob. I hated her in New York, and I hate her here.
Oh my God!
And she's gonna hate, and she'll hate me all the way to the
I know.
ground.
just know the haters live forever. Actually, all of Pride is nothing but one big ball of sweat. So I was doing this party where like everybody was half naked. I was barely doing drag, so I was half naked, and all that night was nothing but like exchanging fluids. Like, hey, girl. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, sure. Let's do some Molly.
Well, what's kind of crazy is that Yvie, you are notoriously a girl who smells au naturel. This is like everyone knows that Yvie Oddly is going to smell au naturel. However, I've never heard your name brought up in the mix of girls who smell bad.
I did a whole season.
That's because
I did a whole season with Yvie, and I never smelled Yvie one time. Not even a single. I'm not even trying to say it because you're here. I've literally never ever had. That's never been my story with you.
But that's because the girls like literally got the worst of me on season 11. Like Stress Sweat is something else. And also I was wearing like the same outfit every day because I did not expect the workroom to be a freezer. I packed all these cute little boop boop pop pop pops. Got there and was like, I am not doing that. And so I was just like sweating into this giant winter coat all day, fighting bitches, getting even more tense, like ooh, and just like chain smoking. So no, I did not smell beautiful, especially because RuPaul's like 800 fucking feet away. She doesn't have to be impressed by the way I smell. Like, girl, you're wasting time, like, trying to rub deodorant on your asshole right now.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't need my drag. I also don't have a great sense of smell, so I don't need my drag queens to smell good. But I do not want you to smell like when you get in the car and the perfume is burning my eyes. I don't want that.
How often does that happen, Bob? Burning your eyes? That's a little dramatic.
It has happened. It has happened. There have been. Do you remember? There used to be a guy. I'm not going to say his name, but he used to live up near me in on the Upper West Side. And he would always come to the bar. We would ride together in the bar together. Oh, this is the infamous lot. He would ride to the bar together with us, and he's cologne was so I mean, I would be like, I'm getting maced. I'm getting maced right now by how much cologne you have on. And I also don't like the smell of something that was wet and then put away
the Eureka.
In an area with
the Eureka smell.
Okay, so you just hate drag then.
No, that smell also burns my eyes. That smell also burns my eyes.
Eureka special.
I want to give everyone my tips. If you're going to become a traveling drag queen, here's some tips that I always give. Wash your tights in the shower using shampoo. After the gig, take your sides. You don't have to. It's just in the shower with the shampoo. Just give them a little squish, squish, squish. Hang them over the edge. In the morning, they will be completely dry. Leave your suitcase open. Do not, because you don't be opening and closing it. Because if you close your suitcase, you're going to just cram them in. But if you leave the suitcase open, you're going to put them in the spot they belong and put them there. Also, if you have something that's wet, I know it's not great for hookups, but just lay it out. You're gonna have to lay your drag out across the room.
That's the part. That's why you don't want to do it though, because then somebody comes. They're like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, "Don't worry."
Yeah, well, I disagree with you. Okay, here's a tip for new drag queens. Ignore that last bit from Bob. Travel with a little bag of potpourri, a big scented trash bag, and if you have wet things after the gig, dump them all in there and deal with it later. Get that dick, girl. Get that dick.
And also, when you come on tour, I like to. So I was really on this something actually that I learned from Kim and Naomi, which was switch up your costumes every once in a while. I had like one outfit for one tour, which is it helps with the branding but you can just also be on theme. You can be on theme. So for this tour, you can be leopard print. For this tour, you can be red. For this tour, you can be pink. Whatever.
Yeah,
you can be on theme. But that way, when you have those little breaks, just take the thing over to the dry cleaners, drop it off, and then take the new one and then just rotate them back out. And the dry cleaners is not, for me, it's not expensive here in LA. I don't know how much it is everywhere else. New York was a little more expensive.
Okay, see, but this all seems like a really, really wild conversation to be having in general, because you're like basically telling people like, hey, okay, so here's how to do your laundry. Like, this is shit you can choose to be doing. I've toured with so many bitches now, and honestly, when I get my reputation of being a smelly, nasty girl, in comparison to these girls, yes, because everybody is so neurotic about actually taking care of their things. And I've never respected anything I own. Yeah, this is what I locked myself into for 30 years.
Yeah, I saw that you purchased it. It was honestly, it's really moving whenever I see Black people purchasing homes. I don't know why it means so much to me.
I love it,
but I'm just like.
Well, for me, it's like some shit that I just like never saw for myself. Like be it because I'm Black, be it because I'm queer, be it because I knew that I was going to be an artist my whole life, and so I was like, okay, bitch, it's ramen and rent.
I mean, I'm still eating ramen, but
I was gonna say now it's ramen and a mortgage payment. I legit ate nothing but ramen yesterday. Like, that is how I've survived Pride here.
I bought this giant thing of mortgage.
Bob put me on.
I bought this giant thing of ramen. I said mortgage. This giant thing of ramen that I have in my kitchen.
You also did buy a big thing of mortgage too.
I did buy mortgage.
You want that too.
I love that, like, people forget that like mortgage payments, like it is so bougie to have a mortgage payment. I realize that I am privileged because I have something that in theory I own, but I am so broke all the time because of it.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, that's the thing. You and the bank co-own your home.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
slowly but surely, you're buying
I'm just like-
more and more of the home from the bank, and then
Yeah.
eventually one day you'll own more than the bank does. But the crazy thing y'all don't realize is even if you get yourself a 30-year mortgage, even if you pay for 28 years, if you miss a couple of payments in a row on the 28th year, they're going to take your whole house.
It is such a
That's-
scam.
I'm like, no. You get the closet. I paid 28 years. You can have the closet.
Yeah. Well, think about this. Well,
See, and for me, the scam is interest. It is ridiculous. I am so pissed that, like, you know, uneducated about house buying. Here I come. I'm like, yes, I'm finally doing something for my future. This is a good investment. I'm paying for my home. And then I check out, like, my mortgage statement every month. And I'm like, okay, so I paid this huge chunk of money and only, like, $3 actually went towards my mortgage. The rest is just the bank being like, yes, bitch, we are draining you.
It's bullshit.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
she do that.
It's the worst. Well, I mean,
So-
I've seen a lot of the book press and the tours you've done around the book, and you were speaking so candidly, very openly, very honestly about your experiences on Drag Race. How do you feel like? Do you feel like that is negatively affecting you?
I mean, in ways, I already know it is. I had a deal with like Rue's new book company that she was at. We were in talks of like working together, and then like cut it just like that.
Really?
They're just like, oh, actually, we can't say why, but like,
Got it.
no. So like, yeah, I realized that like it makes enemies, but the thing is, I critique everyone. I critique myself the hardest, but I critique everyone. And just because I critique you doesn't mean like, I hate you. I'd never want to work with you again. Fuck you. It's just like being like, specifically with that experience, you know, they do get to tell our stories and like show our voices to the world. And they silenced me. They silenced me so hard that like for the rest of my life, I'm just supposed to be, oh yeah, All Stars. I slayed that. I love that too. I don't know. I have no idea why I didn't win anything. So
When you say
weird.
silence you. What do you mean? Like, can you elaborate on that?
Were you silent or were you
Oprah?
were you
Oprah.
silenced?
I was silenced. We are, and like, it's reality TV. I'll say that Drag Race and World of Wonder actually do a very fucking good job of taking care of their contestants, especially if you look at a whole lot of other productions where they're like, ship in these models, beat them to death, and make them look glamorous for a photo shoot, you know?
Cut their hair, fix their gaps, pull
And then send them home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
like,
don't know that there is a TV show that actually has the ability to position its contestants for success as well as RuPaul's Drag Race. Maybe the early years of American Idol. If you were American Idol, maybe what's her name? Who's the country girl?
Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood and before. Carrie Underwood to Kelly
Ruben's
Clarkson.
What happened to Ruben? Ruben kind of just, I don't know.
Well, not everyone, not everyone who's on the show. I mean, it's not a science.
Yeah.
It's not a math equation.
But for the longest of times, being on that show actually gave you the chance to have a musical career, to make an impact in the culture.
Have you been called a daddy yet?
Yeah. I started getting called daddy like a couple of years ago in my later 20s.
Daddy used to be, I mean, yes, for all intents and purposes, it's for an older person that you, but now it's more of a dom sub thing. Like you can be, if you can be, someone can be like 24 and be an 18-year-old's daddy. You know what I mean? Like it's not,
Daddy's always been a mindset. Daddy's never been about your age. Daddy's always been a mindset.
No, that's not true.
I feel like in a way it is. It's been strongly tied to age though, because there's this like maturity that gay people were not really allowed to hit. So we're seeing this blossoming of daddies because we actually have futures. Like we're living into old age. We get to see what it looks like to be an old fag now. So, you know, the mindset of daddy is changing. Daddies are everywhere.
Well, someone like Carson Kressley will never be a daddy because Carson Kressley never had daddy. He never had daddy vibes.
Yeah.
It's not about how old he is. RuPaul will not be a daddy. Actually,
That's
RuPaul
not
might
true.
be able to be a daddy.
RuPaul,
I can totally see.
I was like RuPaul, but Carson Kressley, Ross Matthews cannot be a daddy.
Can.
Okay, no, okay,
Ross,
that is what's sick is I know Ross is somebody's daddy, but they are like
Rosalind
Matthews. Girl, look at
Roseanne Matthews.
Look at Ross and his husband. Ross is the daddy, baby. Ross is the daddy.
Making the money doesn't make you the daddy.
What?
No, but he is the daddy. He's like, this is a very unique type, okay? He's that like blousiest blouse of blouses, but he is a top, and because he's such a blouse, he is so dominating. Right. I already know.
You can be a bottom daddy, though. All daddies aren't tops.
Oh, yeah, no.
Who's the bottom daddy? Who's the bottom daddy?
You can be, not all daddies are tops.
Yeah, no, that... It extends into submission. I've had daddies
Ross,
be like...
comment below. Ross, if you're a daddy, comment below, Ross.